Good afternoon, everybody. I apologize for that delay. Welcome to March's ELA Tech Talk, which is Connections and Concepts that Drive Meaningful ELA Instruction. My name is Jamie Trujillo, and I will be moderating today's webinar. And I am joined by our wonderful ELA presenters, Dawn Dutton and Montserrat Ollanadel. And before we get started, I just wanted to make sure that everybody puts their name and their program name into the chat so that you can get credit for watching the webinar live. If you have any issues accessing the chat, please email me at jamie@nmdelt.org, and we will make sure you get credit for that. And I have to apologize because I just realized that my screen is not being shared.
Exactly. I wanted
So
to say
give
that.
me a second, everybody. I apologize. I'm going to do that.
Thank you, Jamie.
Everybody's just listening to my wonderful voice.
I know. It's all good. We're all here.
So I am working on that. Give me just a second. Okay, so let's move on to, this was the next question. So we're going to go to the next slide. And I believe, were we finished with this one? I'm so sorry, Monse. Were we finished with this one? It looks like we did get a couple more responses, so I'm sorry.
Could you read it? Yeah, could you read them?
Yes.
You just want to assess who are our participants and who are we presenting?
Absolutely. Nancy McKean says, I use Google Classroom as our home base. It was a struggle at first, but the students are doing well now. We also use Play-Doh and Rosetta Stone. Awesome.
Great. Those are great news. Where's Nancy from?
She is from Deming.
Deming. Hey. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for sharing. And Barbara Robinson, thank you so much for sharing too. Could you repeat this again, what she said, just to put everybody in?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So we have Nancy said, I use Google Classroom as our home base. It was a struggle at first, but the students are doing well now. We also use Play-Doh and Rosetta Stone.
And Barbara, what she said.
And Barbara said, I'm sorry, she supplements Ventures class instruction with online Ventures workshop and additional online activities.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. Any other responses?
Whoops, I apologize. I want to make sure that I'm presenting to everyone so that it's not switching between your voice, your icon and mine. So back to that. And then Dafid Rawlings said, some of our teachers use WhatsApp to connect and distribute messages. We are just now starting to use Ventures 3rd edition and hope to use the tech associated with that series, especially the QR codes. He also says that we do have Rosetta Stone licenses and many students use Duolingo too. And he is from the ESL program at Santa Fe Community College.
Perfect. I love WhatsApp. Actually, that's the program. It's my favorite program and I use it every day. Thank you guys for sharing. So let's move forward.
Okay. So now we are on the next screen.
Talking about connections here, we want to connect with people at whatever level they are, wherever they are. And one of the greatest mistakes made with instruction for adults is a lack of appreciation for the wealth of knowledge and experience students come to class with. A lot of times, it's just we don't have time. We have a core text, we have a curriculum, we have a lot of things to do. We don't really maybe take the time we should sometimes to get to know our students. We're going to be talking about connections today, and hopefully connecting in this way, appreciating the knowledge and experience and communication skills students come to class with. Next slide, please. The objective for today is that you will be able to identify the 4 C's of instruction and be able to put into practice concept 1 and 2 through observing examples of how it can be done. Let's get to it. Next slide, please.
Next slide, please. Hey, Don, how do we connect with our adult students?
We connect with them by talking to them about what they know about a subject.
So how do we know what they know?
We ask them and they tell us or show us.
What do we do then?
We continue the student-centered discussion.
So if they want to talk about their job, we do that?
Yep, we talk about their job.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Next slide, please. So today is all about that, is to do things that students will appreciate. And again, this TED Talk is based on the first TED Talk that we did a month ago, where we review the 6 learning principles. So as you see, I'm not going to go through them, and I invite you to review that TED Talk is available on our website, nmdel.org, so you can review them. And basically, all these 6 principles help the creator of the 4 C's to develop a framework that works. So it's all about the brain and the best way it retains information. Next slide, please. So Sharon Woman, the lady, the brighter, I mean, she's so bright, and she created this framework that actually is pretty simple, and we love it. We use it for DELT and MDELT lesson planning, presentations for C3. As teachers, we use the framework as well. So what is the 4C map? It's a guide that will help you to organize information that you are delivering to a class or to a training. Of course, we're using this with our students. So we have 4 C's. The connections is C1, C2 concepts, C3 concrete practice, and C4 conclusions. So we hope today to provide you with a lot of information of the first 2 C's, C1 and C2. Next slide, please. So in a way, when we got trained, we learned the ways to deliver content. But because we are the NMDELT team, we work with technology and instructional technology materials that could enhance our classroom. For this reason, we've been researching of the tools that we can use to deliver connections effectively, and to teach and to transfer content. So today, we're going to look how these 2, C1 and C2, work, but using technology. Next slide, please. So connections. Connections are short activities that allow learners to connect with the content that you are teaching, and also their background knowledge when you begin a session. So as you see, I have the picture of the brain and these topics around it. So the idea of the connections is to, first of all, like I mentioned before, provide students background knowledge, because as we know, adults learn best by connecting their emotions and their experience to the new content. Also, connections connect the outcomes of the class and the instruction, so the students will be clear of what they're going to learn today. As well, they align to personal goals, and align the personal goals to the context of the content, and also connects learners to learners. A lot of the connections activities means that the students are talking to each other and knowing and learning from other students, which is really important. We want to create this collaboration in the classroom, and also are learning meaningful information about the topic. Next slide, please. I think done.
I like this quote from Jay Cross, featured in one of Sharon Bowman's books. Since most learning is social, wouldn't it be more effective to put learners in touch with each other so they can learn from one another? I have to interject here a little bit off script. Monse and I just returned from the National Teachers of English to Students of Other Languages, the TESOL conference in Atlanta. 2 things I learned there that are very important. One, AI and robots are not going to replace us anytime really soon. We're looking for their help, but we're a long way from getting that done. So, and the other thing I learned is that our students are already using technology all the time. Everyone's connected socially, at least, if not in other ways. And why do we think that using technology in the classroom is important? Because it's the real world. There is no escaping it. So we want to make sure that we are part of that. We're part of the social interaction, the social media that goes on. We want to connect with learners, like in this picture here, people sharing information, connecting about an idea. The ideas that we're talking about today can be applied to any subject. We, of course, know that we need to prepare students for work, so we often talk about that, but it can be something else as well, family or some other thing that's not directly related to work. But we need to connect with learners, sharing what they know to build relevance through their lives. Adults deserve that, and they respond to it. Next slide, please. A connection activity here is an example of one. We want to prepare our students for the workplace, as I mentioned. So our objective today is to learn about a dream job in a general kind of sense. We're going to go to careeronestop.org, which is a very large Department of Labor website, and look at jobs. There are videos there. One can look at, for example, to show a day in the life of a healthcare worker or a teacher or a lawyer or something, or an accountant. Then students can look at a variety of things there, find a job that they like, or choose the job that they already have, and just practice the description. We would ask them to get up, write the name of the job on the board, and maybe draw a picture of it, or use their own job as an example, or a way to connect with folks is to hand out sticky notes and have them each write their ideal job on the note and stick it on the wall and find out maybe several people have the same job. And then we're going to choose also maybe categories of jobs. Most of the labor or workforce sites out there have categories of jobs. If you're looking for a job, you're going to look at categories. A category is something we should teach our students, and this is a good place to do it. And again, the objective is for the students to talk about the job, describing it, and maybe discussing its good things and its bad things. Next slide, please. Some of the tools that students can use in class or out of class, maybe out of class here, Padlet and Google Tools. Most of you are familiar with those. Moshe's going to talk a little bit about Padlet. I'm going to talk a little bit about Google Docs. A lot of you have used that. If you haven't, I'm going to show you a pretty quick and dirty way to get into that and use that. Bubble US is something that you need to register for, and it's a shared mind mapping site. Most of these sites, you do need to register. You do need to give a little bit of personal information, but not much. But they're all free, and they work a little bit differently. Some, like Google Classroom, where there's a code that one needs to put into to access the space. But the thing I like about these is it's not like Facebook, maybe, that gets cluttered with advertising and strange people showing up on your web page, but on your Facebook page rather. But Edmodo is one of those. You create an account. It's an open online space. There are resources there, and it's also can be like any social media site where people can share information online. Yammer.com is Microsoft. Their social media networking site. View.com is very similar to Meet or Hangouts, something like we're using right now. Facebook Workplace is another place where students can be invited. Again, it's a closed site, so the distractions won't be there. A place for students to share and chat, just like our English language acquisition workplace site that we share here. Kaku is a website for designing and drawing diagrams. Google Meet, where we are right now, is part of the Google Tools, the G Suite. It's free, and you can meet online with up to 10 people. I believe 10 is correct. And WhatsApp, we've mentioned WhatsApp already in this recording, but it is the third largest social media site after Facebook and YouTube in the world. And it's something that we could get on board with as well. Those of you are already doing it, it's awesome. I like the recording feature there, and that's ways to connect. Next slide, please.
Thank you for that set of list of tools, Don. That's great. Those are great, and I know there is a lot of information, but we invite you to join and to actually review the tools after because you're gonna explore them. And if you have any questions, please let us know, because we play with all those tools. So this is a screenshot of Padlet, and I know many of you might know it, but actually I've been using Padlet to do a lot of the connection activities. So this week in my class we were talking about personality traits, and I asked several questions. My class is a multi-level class, and so of course I use Padlet. I put some questions. We talk about vocabulary, and then students respond. So I use Padlet because it's free of cost, and the students don't need an account to participate. It promotes the collaboration, and also I request the Padlet to be anonymous, so the students don't need to share their name, because as I mentioned, I have a multi-level class, and the students are very shy and they get competitive, and other ones get intimidated by the ones that know more. So in order to have a balance, Padlet is working great to do that. So I'm going to share my screen really quick and show you how actually looks. So let me go here. So can you see my screen, Jamie? Don? Is that working?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure. So as you see, these are all the personality traits. That was an introduction, and students were responding very short answers, or also more elaborated ones. And then we were totally reflecting on the answers. And then this worked to follow. So you create a Padlet. It's a free service at Padlet.com. You need an email address, and then they give you 10 Padlets for you to work. So you can reuse your Padlet, so you don't have to worry about buying a subscription. Then the students, you will share the link, and the students, and as you as well, will click this plus sign, and then you will add a comment about under any of the questions that I have here, and then you will move it around. And that's how basically I use it. There are so many other ways that Padlet would allow to do collaboration, such as sharing a video, sharing pictures. So I do recommend it to use it. And if you have any questions, please, again, let us know, because we use Padlet a lot. And the students like it because, again, you are not seeing any name. So you can get an account at Padlet.com. So let's come back to the presentation.
All right, give me just a second.
Yes, thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome.
I decided to do a really quick screenshot of Google Docs here. Those of you who are using it are going to recognize this #1 page up here when you open Google Docs, and put up in the left-hand corner is a place to put a title of this document. The great thing about Google Docs is whatever you write here is saved automatically on your drive. So as students use this, they can see what everybody else is writing on there. I love the fact that it's saved, and that you can do cool things like write a paragraph. You have 15 students in your class, number 1 through 15. Okay, number 1, you write the first sentence. Number 2, you write the next sentence. Create a story. With a higher level group, you might have each person write a paragraph. And you can do it in a variety of ways now. And again, why are we doing this? Because this is what people do in all their jobs. Everything is sharing information like this, whether it's on this site or another site. Our students need to be familiar with how to do this and what it feels like to see other people writing. Again, go to Google Docs, put the title of your document there, write something. Number 2 picture shows you the share button up on the right there. Click on that. You're going to see this screen number 3 come up. And I shared this document with Monse there. I put in her name, and it automatically filled it because I use that all the time. But you can put in any email address there, and then send that to a person. That person then receives in their account that you sent it to a little message that says, "Hey, you have this document," and you can open it right from your email. And then this is what you see with these little cursors here that have a different color for each person that is on the document. It's a very, very cool thing. And then, of course, the teacher can see that as well, to get invited to that. Once everyone is invited, you work on the same document, and people can come and go out of it, and everyone sees what's going on. So great for writing, great for job readiness, and an easy, simple thing to do for a class. Next slide, please.
Concepts. Thank you for that. We use Google Docs quite a bit, and with the students and also with teachers, right? In presentations. So Google Docs is very handy and it's a great program. Thank you, Don, for sharing that. So concepts are the important facts that learners need to know. Is the knowledge that you are transferring. So again, the same topics. As you see, we have the little brain picture there. So this is information that the students, participants need to know. So one of the things that Sharon Woman said is that it makes so much sense, right? You have to teach in small chunks. There is the 10-minute rule, which means that every 10 minutes, you are going to teach something and then have a break, do a review, do a quick activity to see how engaged the students are, and also to do some kind of activities to make them to wake up. As we know, the students come to class from work and they are tired, so this is a great advice. Deliver the content in small chunks. Also use graphic organizers. Graphic organizers are the best, and especially when you are doing listening activities or they're watching videos, is the best way to organize information. Make the class interactive, right? You can deliver content in an interactive way. It could be a jigsaw, it could be students teaching other students. So there are many ways to use this and make it engaging and fun. And also do quick reviews, means asking for understanding. Ask simple questions to see if the students are actually paying attention. In my class, sometimes I have students, and because they have different ages, sometimes the younger students will be very distracted with their phones or maybe looking by the window. So it's good to ask them to stop how they're doing and make them participate. So quick reviews of the content just to make sure that everybody's with you in the classroom is a great advice too. Next slide, please.
Yeah, Monse, that's great. I love that's all brain-based research. That's not stuff we're making up. We know that stuff works.
We are not making up. This is totally things based on research and how the brain learn best. Thank you for saying that.
Exactly. As an example here, how do we present in a meaningful way? We apply the 6 principles that we have talked about. We use visuals. We listen to students' responses. We move it around to make it more relevant to our students if necessary. Keep it short, and we maybe add some movement if possible. For example, in our job exploration, we look at some pictures of jobs. Right, images are everything, are worth 1,000 words, as they say. So now it's more than students just describing their own job. Now we have some other jobs, some other pictures. So now it's time to ramp up a little bit of our instruction and put in our concept phase here and explore the question and answer period. Let's ask some questions about these things, or have the students ask questions about the thing. Who are these people? What are they doing? What is this guy doing? What is he wearing? What do you think his job is? Based on your level of class, we can ask a variety of questions about that. So we start with a visual and asking the questions. Again, keeping it short and moving on from picture to picture. Next slide, please. So what we do, we facilitate the discussion. It's always been my contention that most teachers talk too much. I'm sure I still do, but we try to listen. We try to get out of the way of our students and let them do something like act out a job. Now they're internalizing the job, and they're going to actually physically move around a little bit and demonstrate their job. And then students guess what they do. They answer the question, practice in the present tense. What does he do? What does she do? We often ask that question when we meet people. What do you do? Obviously, that means what is your job? What is your occupation? And somebody says, numismatist. Well, maybe you don't know what that is. So then you ask, what do you actually do? What does a numismatist do, right? To get additional answers there as questions going. So that's a way to develop a lesson plan through these actions. Next slide, please.
So how do we connect this information with
Montse, we seem to have lost you.
against small graphing to organize structures? So there are really, PowerPoint is part of the Microsoft family, but we have Google Slides, and Google Slides provide a lot of tools to create graphic organizers. I did this year a project doing portfolios with students using Google Slides. So I created a template, shared that template with the students, and they are using it, and it's working great. I'm very excited about that. I also use online timeline. We were talking about the past, and I realized that the best way to connect the best way to use the past tense is to do timelines and talk about important milestones and meaningful things that happen to you. So that's a link that is for a online timeline that is free too and very easy to use. And Canva.com again is a great tool to create flyers, to do graphic organizers, infographics. So if you haven't seen it, I will invite you to please check it out. Then teaching content. Nearpod is a great tool, and I've been using it for quite a bit. Again, it's free, but it of course has its limitations. So I will invite you to also review it. It provides a lot of engaging tools such as polls, and you can share pictures and the students can collaborate. Basically, you share a PowerPoint and you have the control of the PowerPoint, even on the screen. So you stream the PowerPoint and the students are able to see it while you control the whole presentation. So that's great when you have students that are always looking around or they need some motivation to concentrate. Nearpod is a great tool. And Wakelet, I'm going to show you later after this slide actually how Wakelet works, and it's a great tool to curate content and to actually teach. And I used it this week and I'm very excited about it. So I'm going to keep going with the two more. Jamie? Yes? Oh, no. Can you go back, please?
Oh,
Sorry.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. I thought something you said something. Okay. So, and the last two that I wanted to share with you are these two websites. Perfect to do jigsaw. So these two websites, ReadWorks and Commonly, they are perfect. I've been using it too with my classroom. I use Google Classroom as well, as Nancy mentioned when we ask. And these totally align, and they could be embedded in Google Classroom. So what they do, they give you the chance of share a text, and they can listen to the text, and then there are some questions. But what is cool about that you can do in your classroom is that you can print the text and do some jigsaw with the students. So students will teach each other part of the text. And these two programs are free and have great content, and actually you can find topics, and they are organized by grade. So of course you can see the complexity, and then they could do the other part as homework. And I honestly think this is working well, because as I mentioned, I have a multi-level class, so some of the students want to be pushed, and I that's what I'm there to help them. So that's why I love these two websites. I hope you have time to check them. Next slide, please. So, like I mentioned, I want to share Wakelet. This is a new tool that I found a couple of weeks ago, and it's like I said, it's a content curation tool. So what it does, help you to organize all the content that you're going to teach in a really engaging and user-friendly way. So students, this program actually is free. The students don't need an email or an account to access it. So that makes things so much easier. You can embed the link in different platforms, and it's user-friendly. Students actually liked it a lot. We've been using it in the computer and on mobile devices. So as far as that goes, it works in both platforms very well. And also students are practicing their some digital literacy skills, because they have to scroll down, click, a new window will open. So those are our basic skills to start getting students on board with technology. So I wanted to share how I shared the link yesterday. And actually I used as you see, I use WhatsApp. I have a group with all my students. And when I was in the classroom, I just told them, hey, check this link out. We're just going to do this. I'm going to show you what we're going to see this week. And they were like, okay, let's check it out. And they opened the link, and it was very easy. Some students did it from their phone, other ones from their computer. And now I'm going to share the screen just so I can show you how actually look. There you go.
Give me just a second to get you onto present mode, everybody. Okay, you're good.
So this is how a Wakelet looks. So we were talking again, personality traits. So I just shared this picture with some of the words and the cartoons. Some of the words are pretty advanced, but we review content. So they all had access to this page. Then this is the Padlet. So this is how you embed the link there. The students open, and they open the link, and then they were able to just participate on the Padlet. This is actually this is a worksheet that I gave to the students. So everything in one place. Then we did a few activities with videos, and I put the hands out here, and the students also access the link. We're able to access the link from here and watch the video. And again, it's very easy to use. So you click here, share this collection, and you can use a QR code, Facebook, any social media platform, Google Classroom, or just the simple link. And I found it fantastic, and I recommend for you to check it out, and it's free. So yeah, let's come back to the presentation.
All right, I'm going to go back to me presenting. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay. Are we ready for the next slide?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, I think actually we did a great job. We are very sorry for all these issues that we had in the beginning. I think this is the first time, and it happens.
But it definitely does.
Well, we are learning so much, and we are very grateful for having you here with us. And so, we are the New Mexico Dell team, and we provide training, support, resources, networking opportunities, and professional development sessions. So if you need help, please contact us. We will be glad to work with you and show you a lot of the tools. We just have 30 minutes to show you a lot of the tools that we use on a daily basis, and we can totally tell you what things work for us. We are teachers, we are in the classroom, so we understand the challenges, but also we also can share with you how great things work. You can find us on social media, and this TED Talk and a lot of the materials that we review today and the all TED Talks will be available on our website, nmdel.org. Next slide, please. So we also have done what he said he was talking about the connections and some of the tools. We have an English language acquisition group that we want to make. We want to create a space where teachers can talk and collaborate. So if you want to be part of that group, we share the TED Talks, we share opinions, comments, resources. So if you want to be part of that, please let us know, email us, or you can also find on Workplace, the name of the group is ELA Instructors in New Mexico. So please, we will be very, very happy to work with you and hear what you're doing. As we hear in the beginning of the presentation, there are a lot of people that are using technology. I would love to hear what you're doing, and so we can learn from you and just share the best practices and techniques that work. Next slide, please. So questions, Jamie, I don't know if we have any questions. This is the time. So please feel free to write it on the chat. And if you have any questions or comments and you're watching this later, send us an email. We will be glad to talk to you. Thank you for joining us today. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Donna and Montse, very much. And you guys will notice that survey link is right at the bottom of the screen. I apologize, I cannot put the link directly into the chat. So we're going to leave the screen up for a little bit so that you can copy this link. Please make sure that the capital letters are actually capitalized when you put in the link. We did have a couple of comments.
Perfect.
Nancy says she loves ReadWorks.
Yes.
And David Rawlings wants to know if we can share our PowerPoint, and I did let him know that it will be on the website.
Yes.
And the last comment, also from David, he had said earlier that he has veered away from activities on the computer in favor of cell phone and tablet-based applications because most of their students only have cell phones and tablets. Very few have computers at home.
Oh my God, he's gonna love Wakelet. Please check it out. We are going to share the slides, and also we are planning to create a Google Doc with some links so you can play with our products and see it. And if you have any questions, I would love to talk to you and show you other things that I've been learning. But Wakelet, we actually use it. Like I mentioned, I share on WhatsApp, and the students were able to access the content from their phone. And I was very glad to see that, because I have the same issue. Some of the students don't have computers. So That's a great point. Thank you.
And he actually said he will check that out, and thank you. And those were all the comments. Thank you all so much for viewing our webinar today. Dawn and Montse, thank you so much, as always, for a wonderful presentation. We hope you all have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.